Hello, my friends, esteemed family and colleagues. I was asked to talk a little bit about incontinence, meant urinary incontinence, because we can have continence also with our defecation. But many people, and also now younger generation, is starting to suffer from incontinence, not being able to control bladder correctly, which means they may be dripping, they may be having problem even stopping urinating. Now, when we search what our science has to say about it, well, they don't say much. I remember my brother was a urologist, and he had many patients with this problem. I remember a neighbor in Croatia when my brother bought some property there after the war in Yugoslavia, when Croatia separated. Well, all the states basically broke apart. So from one small country, you got 6 smaller countries. But Croatia is one of them, became independent. Neighbor down on the seashore, Pero, was suffering from this also. And, had a beautiful little house right next to the sea in a pine tree. It's beautiful. But you cannot come close because it all stank on urine. When you have a problem of controlling urination, you'll be dripping, and your urine is going to have a strong smell. Now, why does urine have such a strong smell, especially with people with incontinence? Well, because they are very toxic, meaning their blood is toxic, and toxins stink. Why, as a children, we don't smell in armpits, for example. And there'll come one point in a life that all of a sudden you start having this odor. And it could be light, or it could be really, really musty and nasty. Well, it all depends. At a certain point in life, you start producing pheromones. But pheromones are light. This is not strong smell. Where the real smell comes out is from toxic elements being expelled through skin, especially in the area where we sweat more, where we have overlaps of skin, so causing friction, heating up, bringing more necessity of cooling, which brings more blood, more lymph. If blood is toxic, it brings more toxins. And this is another outlet where we detoxify, but it is going to create bad smell. And of course, later on, because of same toxicity, being pushed in these areas, those are more fragile areas to develop ulcers or rashes, because more toxic is the blood, more toxins are living and affecting this area and causing problems. Toxic blood will prevent cells from hydration. The more toxic is the blood, the cells are going to be cringing. They are going to be tightening up, which means their membranes are going to be denser. They are going to tighten down. So there is not easy flow of plasma going into the cell and coming out of the cell, which is the passive way the cells could cleanse and hydrate without engaging their cellular pumps, simply through filtration of passage of lymph. Now, the more toxic is the blood, more denser are the membranes, tighter, they cringe, defensive mode, and now the cell becomes more toxic because it cannot eliminate its toxins easily. Longer this stays, the cell is going to be dehydrating because it will be, cells produces acids as a part of metabolism, and it has to eliminate them. So it will use some of the plasma that it has internally and push these toxins towards the membrane and squeezing them out. But the time comes when there is such a low level of plasma in a cell that cell will not be able to do this. Simply will dry up, will die. So it will hold on to these toxins, becoming more acidic. When this happens with a cell, it cannot hold electric charge because, again, it's like a car battery, same thing. If the liquid in a battery is overly acidic, you put the battery in charger, it charges rapidly, but you take leads off and the electricity just runs out because acids prevent holding the charge. Acidity has to be controlled. When cell cannot control acidity because simply cannot cleanse, well, acidity increases and the ability of holding charge decreases. Depowered cell cannot function correctly. What is the purpose of muscle? Well, muscle purpose is to constrict, to keep tension, and works with the tension. It keeps our skeleton in place. But we have also so-called sphincter muscles, which are round muscles, and they are always present in any orifice of our body. For example, mouth, lips. This is a sphincter here. You close it or you open it. We have these sphincters on every organ. And when we are talking about incontinence, well, we are talking about a sphincter that control the emptying of a bladder. When body cleanses the blood through kidneys, through glomerulus, the undesirable elements or the excess or toxin are being pushed out of the body. So with the plasma, you need plasma to do that. You cannot do anything without plasma, which is the liquid in our body, electroconductive water through mineralization, achieving ionic effect. So when the kidney excretes undesirable elements with the urine, so you don't drip all the time because the filtration is constantly occurring, we have a bladder. It's a storage reservoir. So urine drips in it, it gets full, and now at the bottom of it, you have a valve. To control urination, we have two valves. One is the internal, which is made out of the flat muscles that are part of the wall of the bladder. They are not under our control. They are the flat muscle, which are controlled automatically. Then, as the urethra connects, there is another muscle on the urethra itself, on a tube that goes between bladder and in men penis and in women vagina, where we urinate. So we have two different valves. They're separated. And the sphincter, being a muscle, it is going to be also affected if the muscle cells of the sphincter are dehydrated, because as the acidity increases, the ability of holding electrical charge diminishes and muscle loses tension. And not only that it loses tension, even its action of constricting when you give the order of constriction cannot do good job. So when the cells are dehydrated and acidic of those muscles, well, as you urinate, the first sign of this is going to be as you urinate, and now bladder is empty, so you basically constrict. You do it willingly. You stop, okay, I'm done. Okay, you constrict now the strap muscle, the outside muscle, which is on the urethra. But there is still some drip of urine may have come from the internal muscle. So in the space between the internal and external muscle, there could be a little bit of urine left. Now the internal muscle will close as well. It does it without our control. Basically, it's programmed this way. Bladder is empty. There's no pressure on it because it opens under pressure. So there's no pressure. It closes. And now you think, okay, I'm done. And you sit down. You put your pants on. And as you are walking, no problem. But you sit down. Well, by sitting down, the pressure changes. And if the muscle that is under your control has a problem because it's acidic, well, under the pressure of change pressure when you sit down, it may not be able to stay constricted. Because remember, this muscle, the exterior muscle, is also related to your pelvic floor muscle. So when you sit down, you affect that muscle. The muscle relaxes. And if that muscle relaxes, it will also weaken the constriction of that outer valve. And the urine that is between the internal and external muscle, the little bit that was there, just flows down and stains your underwear. So these are the first symptoms that you are getting into trouble on a cellular level. You are starting to lose the control over the sphincter that you control consciously. The interior sphincter you don't control. It's your independent system. Same like that control movement of your bowel, that control your blood vessels, control even your heart. So this is autonomic system. You don't control this. But the exterior muscle, the sphincter on your urethra, you control it. You can decide to urinate or not to urinate. Or you decide when to urinate. This is when you open that sphincter. The internal sphincter is reacting to a pressure. So as pressure increases, that one point comes that basically the sphincter, internal sphincter, will be opening, but your exterior sphincter is closed, so you are not going to urinate. But that when the internal sphincter opens, the increased pressure on the outer sphincter gives you the urge to urinate. Oh, I have to go. I should really urinate because the pressure is starting to build up. So there are people, we call it staining, that have already this problem, but they don't consider it problem. Okay, it's an inconvenience. Got to change underwear every day or twice a day. Well, from there on, if you don't take care of it, from there on, another stage is basically you completely lose the control over the outside sphincter. And inside sphincter as well is not going to work because you simply are so toxic, you are so acidic that there is no tension. And a little pressure and it goes through. So point will come that you simply could not stop urinating. Not only when you sit down, but even when you stand, you stop dripping. Now I remember with Pedro, my brother was giving him clamps. So the skin on penis, you just clamp it to prevent, but it never works well. And it's, problematic. It's not comfortable. And it does never close as well as the programmed sphincter, which is designed to close. And people start using diapers. Now, of course, this used to happen with elderly with chronic problems. And chronic problems start creeping in little by little, usually in the form of tiredness. But then, you exhaust yourself easily. But then also problems with concentration, problem with eyesight. This all starts building up as a chronic problems. Increasing blood pressure because you get stiffness of arteries. The first sign of your increased toxicity of the blood is smelly urine. And then darker smelly urine, getting darker and darker. Well, these are signs that you got to change something, my friend, because your blood is very toxic. And of course, later on, we know the other symptoms, going into diarrhea, nausea, and profound sweating, and smelly sweat, smelly breath. All this is a reason of toxic buildup in the body, and then release through mucosal tissue, and then to skin, through skin. This is when toxicity is getting out of hand because we are not flushing these toxins out of the body. Why not? Because we are low on blood plasma, and we are low on blood plasma because we eat incorrectly and we hydrate incorrectly. And this is why Self-Healer's protocol is your guide how to do this correctly, how to hydrate correctly, and how to eat correctly so you stop poisoning yourself and allow and bring enough minerals into your body. Remember everything we have been told by science, which means through indoctrination, through movies, through the bombardment of information from the outside is incorrect, because the purpose is to keep us stupid, dumb, and easily manipulated as slaves in a system of slavery that we are in. We are just liberating ourselves from this system, which brings another thing. Now we are liberating ourselves from the system. So we have a Q and whiteheads liberating us. We have a President Trump there as a figurehead of it. They did a great job. But then I just received a video from a friend pointing, can you explain this? And Trump talking with financiers about creating, I think it's a new company, Stargate Enterprise. Well, it has nothing to do with the original Stargate, which was wormhole. It is about company working on energy and AI, artificial intelligence, and putting, for example, cancer as an example. So we can now take blood, find a cancer cell, and then we can check genetically what gene is causing the problem, and then we can insert artificial intelligence through vaccine to target exactly this problem. Well, my dear friends, we have to make a decision. Are we going to continue trusting others to take care of us and inject us with some stuff that we don't control? Or are we going to take control ourselves over our bodies and over our manifestations? This mRNA technology may be good, but you that are awake, you did not receive any of those Zoomzulas. Now, would you, because Trump tells you, would you go and receive Zoomzula because they discovered that something in your body is not functioning well, and with the Zoomzula they can inject something that is going to correct now this thing that is not working well? Well, you make your decision. My decision is never, ever, ever, ever have anyone put anything into my body. Why? Because it's absolutely unnecessary. Through my videos, I show you, and especially my articles, I show you that everything we know is contrary to truth. We are manipulated. If we clean everything up now, what's not to say that the next generation, somebody will get there who will start abusing the new technology? It always happens. Just look what happened with religions. Everything, what is made for good can be weaponized. The mind has to change. Now, in this video, they say, the experts, the artificial intelligence will be so powerful, way more powerful than we are. Well, I want explanation here. Who is creating this intelligence? Supposedly we are. The intelligence cannot know more than we know creating it. And whenever we hit the wall where we cannot create anymore, all we have to do is ask. And we receive information that we are missing so we can continue. The artificial intelligence is created by us. So it can only reach the point of information we provide. It cannot create information. Same as we cannot create information, it has to be given to us. Who is going to give us information to this artificial intelligence? It is not connected with a creative source. It is not connected with consciousness. It is dependent on us, which means it can never ever exceed our potential. Never ever. The only way it can do it if it gets connected to the source. To be connected to the source has to be made by the source, as we are. So we have to give it the power and freedom. Again, it cannot get more information than we can get. Because again, limit is going to be the source. So claiming that we can do something that can be more advanced than we are is nonsensical statement. And I know that I'm not going to give my power away to anybody in any other way than mental cooperation. Nothing will be zoom-zooled into my body. And I believe when people wake up and realize what was done to them, I believe that very few, if any, would ever allow this to happen to them again. So I think that the industry of zoomzoolas is going to evaporate. And I have nothing against President Trump. I think he did a fabulous job. I thank him for the service. But the future is not on him to decide. It is on each one of us to decide. And I'm not giving my powers to anyone. I want to stay in control of my manifestations, my body. I will use technology. I love technology. I love motorcycles. I love boats. I will definitely enjoy flying objects. Flying cars. Perfect. That's a great technology. It's for fun. Are we going to need it? No. Because if we take back our power of manifestation, you can instantly be in any place you want to be. Because it's all about focus and shifting the frequency. Switching the channel. You want to have breakfast in Paris, have croissant, switch the channel. Paris, tick, and you are in Paris. Only you will not have to do any dialing because it's done all here. After breakfast, you want to sunbathe on beaches of Fiji, tick, and you are there. Actually, you just put it in your mind and bingo, there you are. And so your ego can manifest it, so you make a little jump. So you just jump and bingo, you are there. This is the golden age. It will be beautiful to have those two things together, but keep technology as a technology and keep humanity as a humanity. Do not mix them. We have a very good experience what happens when you mix these two things. And I don't think it was a pleasant experience. Ask those with zoomzoolas. So I'm just warning everybody, be careful what you are going to decide to do, which way you want to go, and how you want to manifest. I was hit twice within a year with a heavy detox. And both times my wife got a little scared. Oh, you got to see doctor. Doctor, to do what? To drug me? I resolved everything without it. Yeah, I took a little bit of help of medicinal remedy, a couple days. That's it. That's why we have medicinal remedies. There's nothing wrong with medicinal remedies if you use them correctly, if you don't abuse them, and if you don't get hooked on them. And when we go back into problem of incontinence, yeah, they will for sure be able to create mini robot that will zoom into your body. But then what else are they going to sneak with that little robot in? And how do you get that little robot out? So personally, I don't buy it. I'm against it. And I hope you are as well. And I hope humanity finally wakes up and smells the coffee and realizes that smell is beautiful, but effects are horrible, and distances itself from this. Nothing is more powerful than mind when used correctly, because it's all about manifestation. The ruler is consciousness. This is the ultimate God, creator. So when we talk about incontinence, you have to cleanse. You have to cleanse your blood. You cannot cleanse it in any other way than by providing plasma, because your body is programmed to cleanse. And more toxic it is, the more it wants to cleanse and more options of cleansing it has. When it's low level of toxicity, the only option you will have, because the only sensor that you are touching are your kidneys and is your urination. If the toxicity of the blood increases, now you are touching two sensors. You are touching kidney sensor and mucosal sensor, and you will cleanse through mucosal tissue and through kidneys. And if the toxicity increases even higher, you are touching the third sensor, which is your skin. So you will cleanse at the same time through skin, through mucosal tissue, and through kidneys. Simple as that. So if you are highly toxic and you are not cleansing, it is because there is no plasma. How can you wash your dirty windows if you don't have water? Liquid. Well, the only liquid in the body is plasma. And every time you are washing something, you are releasing things that your body does not want, you are wasting plasma. It goes out with the plasma. Urine is pure plasma with a little bit of toxic debris or surplus. Well, you have to replenish this. You cannot replenish plasma by drinking water. Water is water, plasma is plasma. To turn water into plasma, you need salt. But if you are being duped into being afraid of taking salt, well, you cannot replenish the lost plasma. Well, if you eat enough meat and animal products, milk, cheese, eggs, this is all loaded with minerals. So, okay, you will get minerals, and if you drink water, you will get water. So, okay, you can create your plasma. But you're also bringing a lot of material that has to be taken out. So whatever plasma you're making, now you have to use it to eliminate. And how are you going to eliminate what is there already? Well, you need more plasma. This is why we need to drink plasma. Water with ions, with salts. The best is taking not refined sea salt. Well, the best is taking a seawater, dilute it 3:1, and drink it. You are having dilution of your blood plasma. But if you're not living next to the sea, use not refined, not iodized sea salt and mix it with water, approximately 10 grams, 9 grams of salt per 1 liter, and you are putting blood plasma right back into your body. Simple as that. There's no such a thing, organic or inorganic. This is our invention. It's all vibration. And you put the correct vibration, you put the correct salt, you are going to hydrate. You do not receive minerals from plants. If that would be the case, then herbivores would never ever need supplementation with salt, and they are the only one that need it, which means everything we have been told is contrary to the truth. Wake up. So if you have dark, smelly urine, don't wait. Immediately start drinking plasma. Start cleansing. You will urinate more because you will have more plasma available. Your body will not have to hold it, and it can eliminate as soon as some toxin comes, take it out. Little surplus, take it out. You will urinate more frequently, but urine will be lighter in color or even transparent and may not even have any smell, because mostly you will be taking out plasma with surplus of salt, so it will be salty urine, with a little bit of these toxins that your body is eliminating. So if you have dark urine and smelly urine, immediately take care of it. You don't even have to change your diet. Just start loading with plasma and start cleansing your blood. Of course, the problem is that when we eat plants, we are affecting our digestive system. The cells have to protect themselves from these toxins, so the cells of your gut are going to be cringing down, absorption will be poor. So poor absorption of nutrients and poor absorption of plasma, so your stool is going to be manageable while your body is getting dehydrated because it's not enough absorbing, because you are poisoning it. But it's already protecting from taking the poisons in right away in the gut. And this is keeping your stool soft while your body is in need of plasma. This is why many times what happens, people hear, okay, I'm going to have now, I heard that it's good to have animal diet, so I'm gonna, I have some meat. And what happens? They start eating meat and all of a sudden they go into constipation. Wow, meat is not, you see it constipate. Well, why do you go into constipation? Because you are very toxic. Your blood is toxic. Your body needs plasma. But plasma was not able to go in adequate quantity because your gut was poisoned with the toxic food. Now you stop poisoning your gut. You give it correct diet. So now the cells start opening the membranes and they start absorbing. And since there is body is toxic, blood is toxic, and there is big need of plasma so it can cleanse, it will be soaking all the liquid in, leaving your feces dry, causing hard stool and constipation, which is sign you have to increase now, giving body more plasma, more water and more minerals, so it can start cleansing your body. And it will do it automatically. There's nothing you have to do about it. You are programmed to do this. You just have to provide the materials. And those who manipulate with us, they know it. This is why they create whole science about the dangers of salt, because they have dangers of eating meat. They want us on a plant diet and they want us on low salt. So we are dehydrated and toxic because this is how they manipulate us. They make us stupid. We are depowered. We cannot think correctly. We cling on help. And who helps us? Again, the executioners, 007 agents, schooled by those that control us, priding themselves to be doctors of medicine. It's a medicine. It's not medicine. Because what doctors are trained to do is pure medicine. They are poisoning us. Because all they are trained is to how to suppress the symptom. So there is not much more I can say about incontinence. As soon as you hydrate on a cellular level, the incontinence is going to stop. That's the only way you can actually heal it. And you don't need any nanobots, any AI to achieve this. Same like you don't need any of those to tackle cancer. Cancer is going to vanish immediately when we stop poisoning ourselves and we provide the body with what it needs. There's not going to be cancer. So there's nothing to fight. There's not going to be osteoporosis. There's not going to be diabetes. There's not going to be hair loss. There's not going to be skin rashes. There's not going to be loss of eyesight. We are not going to need doctors. All you have to do is follow Self-Healers protocol, and it's all going to be gone. The only problem is that we have been poisoned in every aspect of our life, through food, through water, through medication, through music, through information, through fear. We've been poisoned on every level. Now, when this is going to stop, because with the help of whiteheads and those awakened, including Mr. Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, we have destroyed the old system. And also there were extraterrestrial forces on our side helping us, because without them, there's no way we could have done it. So now it's up to us to decide. Are you going to trust someone else with your health? Are you going to trust someone else with your life decisions? Or do you want to be in charge? You decide. I know where I'm going, and I hope you choose wisely. Okay, my friends, thank you for listening, and God bless us all. Namaste.